Hello, this is your disabled combat veteran after 9/11, Michael Commiso, and the back buddies online. Well, I'm an American, born and raised. I like that song, Born in the USA. There's other ones like that. It's pretty cool too in America. And I'm proud to be an American. And I'm a citizen. I was born in America. And I feel like I know what it means to be an American. So, as I try to figure out what the internet is, though, I try to speak how respectful I could be as a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. You know, over the years, I feel like I had a difficult life back home as a veteran. I felt like why? To where I'm still trying to understand people, because if I was the shy, quiet kid at school, and if it was this, I felt like before the internet, people called each other names and bullied each other before the internet. But now, I have to drink Gatorade sometimes to, can't say the word. I'm thirsty and I drink Gatorade. So, if I was a shy, quiet kid that tried to avoid drama, I feel like, it's weird though. When I was on the wrestling team as a retro guy, I'm, it's hard to explain Michael Commiso online, because I live in the years where if you really think I had enough touch to base time on the internet, because I'm still trying to figure the internet out. And why is it so hard to use the internet nowadays when we all rely on the internet? So there must be some kind of corny person in the world. They try to say, well, if I fuck up the internet, I can fuck up the world kind of thing. And I'm like, wow, how much time and effort did somebody think of something like that? But I felt like, yes, few people make you lead to believe that the whole world stinks, but the world don't stink, dude. We all just try to make it in the world, and now we have a tool to make it in the world, and now we're too stupid enough to screw up the internet. So we're too selfish and greedy and jealous of each other as the world, and became haters online over bullshit, fighting, and don't allow each other to achieve any kind of accomplishments online. But there's our history on the internet. I'm so retro. There's history on the internet. That's how old the internet is. You know, imagine me being on the wrestling team as a goofy guy, I'm not sure why, but people take people the wrong way in general. I guess the regular people in the world fight over regular stuff in the world online as to, I'm an outcast. So, as the goofy guy, I feel like people like to pick on the nice people. In history, I feel like I took the history class. And somehow people come together and bully one person on the internet nowadays. So if the internet has the ability to bully one person, that means you're next in line on the internet. And if that's all we achieve is to find other reason why to hate each other and bully each other in a different way, that sucks, In history, I don't know how hard history, people teach you about history, but how hard is really history? Because there's good guys in history. So I'm trying to still learn about myself as a veteran back home. That's how much time and effort we take on the internet is everybody that sits there on your computer, and the first thing you do is judge that person because you decided to sit on that computer like crazy people. It's weird that people call your name and bully you, but you're the crazy people stalking me 24 hours a day, and I tell the world that I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. So how longer can somebody stalk your computer? Is that internet that complicated that you can't figure out how to save people's lives on the internet? Why now? So it's 2027. And feels that we see the future as a good, future's going to be good, and then we see as the future as it's going to be bad. Now, I highly doubt over the years, because before the internet, if there's some kind of conflict of the internet, that's how I feel when I talk on the internet. Everybody talks over you. You have a good thought in your mind, and you have something good to say. You all act like I got something mean to say all the time. But that's not a positive way of looking at each other, right? It's sex and nudity is going to happen. You all get mad about sex and nudity like crazy people on the internet while you sit there and watch it 24 hours a day as the world. And another thing, as an American hero, when I was on the wrestling team, sometimes I didn't feel like I was good enough to win the medal. Even though I got the medal, in the world I lived in, as a shy, goofy guy in glasses, some people, not popular, I don't know what makes somebody an asshole in school. Some kind of group in school that think they're better than, like Harry Potter. Did anybody watch Harry Potter in the world online? Well, when you go to the school of Hogwarts, I can't say it because I have speech impediment. There's witches and people that are pure blood of magic in this school. So they bully people that wasn't pure blood of magic in Harry Potter movie. And that was the conflict of everything. I don't know if that's the same thing on the internet, because I wrestled a lot of schools on the internet. I still don't think, yeah, I took typing. I took typing. This I learned about internet in school. You know, when you took term papers, they said look up information about what your book is about. See if you can find more information online on your book that you're worried about. That's when I learned internet in America. But the internet's not the same. So it sucks that how people view each other in the first place. So I try to stand up for myself as a veteran, because I don't know how hard it is to stand up for veterans, but over the years, I'm 41 years old, and people beat the crap out of me on the wrestling mat. When it was time for me to wrestle in a match, you guys slammed me down on the mat that my jaw locks up. But I still got back up. Every time I got slammed back on the mat, I got right back up. And that wrestler got mad at me and slammed me down back on the mat again. And I was getting mad. So over the years, getting slammed down on the mat, and I got cow foul ear. Apparently it's a little one. It's not as what. I try to save my ears. I try to get a good headgear and save my ears. But every wrestler tried something, I don't know. So every time I got slammed on the mat, I was getting madder and madder and angrier and angrier and angrier. And I didn't know where to put all that anger out, because it kept slamming me on the mat. And I said, this guy's trying to choke me out. So pin me. I can't breathe. And the referee just staring at me. And I'm staring at the referee. And I'm like, what's wrong with this referee? Are you going to call this match? This guy's trying to choke me out. So ever since then, it felt like I got to pin this guy fast, so they won't try to cheat and try to earn points off of me. Because that's all. Everybody had a hard time pinning me on the wrestling mat. So the way they earn their points is they're trying to earn points, try not to pin me. So I guess I learned something from my coach, wrestling coach. Because I heard everybody. I just couldn't. I was blind, and I didn't fit. I should have focused on the mat more. But I was there. Everybody was trying to break it. I felt like I had a hernia. If I had a hernia, I must have had a hernia from the wrestling team. So the coach, I heard the coach saying they're just trying to break Commiso's back on the wrestling mat. So I appreciate the wrestling coach. You know, there was a time, I don't know, maybe that's why I didn't wrestle my senior year. I said, I'm just going to be 160. How the heck you going to be 160 your senior year? The freshmen are 160s. Man, there's bigger freshmen, way more than that. It's a freshman year. They had to make me, I'm 300 pounds. I need to figure out how to move a 300 pounds, because I was 160 my whole life. I got to figure out how to move 300 pounds. Because right when they fixed my hernia, I started to gain weight faster. So there's a chance that, when I ate, I had a hernia and I couldn't gain weight. I just stayed the same 160 because I probably had a hernia. So when I worked out, I thought, well, if I keep working out, I'm going to get bigger. And I know I got strong. I know I got stronger when I was at the gym, because I added more weight every time. And I wasn't at the gym to try to show off. I feel like sometimes there's people that go to gym to try to show off their muscles when they go to gym. I went to the gym in Trenton. Apparently, the guy that owned Trenton wrestling gym knew Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said he knew Arnold Schwarzenegger. I said, oh, that's cool. So I kept going to that gym because the guy said he knew Arnold Schwarzenegger somehow from Trenton. That he thought, even the guy that, oh, it's not a gym no more. I looked in, I said, oh man, it's not a gym no more. I looked in, somebody owns that because the owner of the gym died or something. And I looked in, I said, oh man, if I was going to sign up for a gym, I was thinking about going back to Trenton to work out again. But it's all not a gym no more. So while I had the pressure of being a teenager in high school like everybody else, because I'm in some kind of Harry Potter school and you all got more magic than me in high school and you all got mad at me or something. So I didn't know how I was going to do my senior year because I felt like, oh man, they all, I wanted to hang with my grandma, so I felt like if I went to summer school for wrestling, it would take the time hanging with my grandma and my mom and my brother and my dad in the summer. I said, they probably teach the same move. I felt like my coach, there was more than one coaches that taught me at high school. There was like 3. Then there was 4 coaches. 2 of them. Actually, 3 of my coaches was my teacher. That's weird. That's weird as hell. 3 of my wrestler coaches were my teachers in high school. So I had to see my coach. Man, that's why I got frustrated. There must have been a time when I was frustrated with my wrestling coach because I see them out all day. So, but no, I got used to them. So when I was in high school and you got comfortable around all the wrestlers that's around you. Then when you get older, each class, you lose your wrestlers as your team. So the coaches were still there. That's what kept me on the wrestling team was my coaches because they was always there every year. But they was adding more coaches to my team. First there was 2 coaches, then there was 3 coaches, then they put another coach that came somewhere, I don't know where I guess he was an ex-wrestler and became a coach or something. That was 4 wrestlers that you're in high school. And whoever was on the side of you in Township's high school at the time, or whoever, as our team and everything. I felt bad about 2004 class because I didn't wrestle my senior year. But I felt every time I got on the mat, they found a new way to break Commiso on the mat. I said, that's the senior. They're all going to college. They don't care about the team. They just want to earn points for themselves, right? Because when you're a senior year, they don't look at the team. They look at you at colleges as senior year. So I wanted to keep the team together. When you watch wrestling, me and my family and me and my dad and my brother, we like WCW. A lot of famous wrestlers came from WCW. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man, and the Ultimate Warrior and everything. And you get sad. You said, that's a good team. Why the hell did they break that wrestling team on WCW? The same thing with WWE. WWE, they changed wrestling so much, I don't know where everything is. So I felt the same way when I was on the wrestling team. So my senior year, You know, I was 160. If I was 160 my senior year and I had to wrestle freshmen, you know, I had to wrestle. Being a captain on a team is a lot of pressure. So I was like, I had to focus on getting A's and B's so I graduate from high school. I told the whole school that I was joining the military, and I did. And I felt like, at one point the whole team was all connected, and everybody was happy in the wrestling team, and we was all happy, connected to each other as a team. But I felt the difference. I wasn't winning as much. I felt like I was letting down my wrestling team because my junior year, they still had a hard time pinning me, but they was just earning points off of me because they decided they must have learned something in the summer college training summer school for wrestling. Oh, if you can't pin the guy, might as well just earn points off of him. But I wanted to pin everybody because I was hungry at 160 my whole high school time in high school. I was 160. I said, everybody's getting heavier and bigger than me in my senior. If they're still 160 senior year, I didn't believe because I felt like he was heavier than me. So I was glad that I worked out with my dad in the summer in the gym because I felt good that every time I went back to the gym, I lift up more heavier weight. And I said, wow, I can't believe I lift that much. But the bodybuilder said it's not how much weight. But there was a bodybuilder at the gym apparently, and he said it's not how much weight you could curl, it's how much repetition you could do. So I understood that. I took time on the lighter weights, and I decided to pick it up. I felt like I curled 40 pounds on each arm. I curled 40 pounds. So there might be a chance that I could have overexhaust myself on the wrestling team because on the weekends I tried to work out on the weekends because my mom gave me a car where I passed the driving test, so I was a teenager driver. I got my permanent to drive. That's why I didn't speak that much, because I didn't want to mess up the word just when I spoke or speak. So, I don't know. I felt like something broke in my body. I did go to the doctors and it said, you dislocated your collarbone and broke your sternum in 3 places. But I felt like there was more, because I know I could pick up the weight, because picking up my heavier wrestlers. My coach had me pick up the heavier wrestler on the team. And I didn't felt like it was hard to pick him up because I went to the gym and I said, I could pick you up. They all think I couldn't pick him up, but I picked him up. But there was some kind of connection on the wrestling team. And I guess as we got older, I don't know what the conflict was on the wrestling team, but I always tried my best. I always tried my hardest. I wrestled the hard. I said, I was getting mad. I said, why is this guy doing this to me? I know I could beat this guy. I felt like I beat this guy before in my career wrestling. But I was light, hungry, exhausted. Had a chance I could have had a hernia on the wrestling team. As the coach says, oh, they're only trying to break Commiso's back on the mat. And I now understand what the heck that meant. They was just trying to make me not make it to the tournament. I wrestle a lot of wrestlers, you know. I wrestle a lot of schools in New Jersey. and I wrestled PA, and there was a one tournament. I didn't even know where the heck the damn schools came from. Well, I was a decent wrestler. I just felt like everybody broke everything in my body, and now I got to figure out how to move around again. And now I'm 300 pounds. I took a walk with my dad, and I felt like it was 10 miles. Me and my dad walked 10 miles. I felt like I still got a bruise on my foot walking that long. And walking with 300 pounds, it feels like 10,000 people is pushing you down on the ground. You got gravity and 10,000 people pushing you down walking 300 pounds. But I made it. I did it. I got sunburned to prove it. Look, I got sunburned when I was walking with if you can see it. I got sunburned on my arms. Because, I think maybe veterans is not acknowledged. I felt like nobody acknowledged me as a veteran, and everybody's complaining who acknowledged you online, and everybody's knowledge. But maybe veterans got to come up with their say. So I think this is a good saying. It says, "Hey, buddy, what's your problem?" I think this should be the veteran saying. You ever saw this movie? Here's the hippie guy chilling out in the classroom. And he was like, "Hey, buddy, what's your problem?" in the movie. I thought he was the funniest guy in the movie. Each character has their own character in the movie, and there's always at least one character that makes the movie shine. I think it was the hippie guy. Because he was always stoned in the classroom, and he's wondering why everybody's mad at him, because he's chilling. He's not bothering anybody. He's a hippie guy. He's got a hippie van. He's trying to chill with people, and he doesn't understand why everybody's mad at him. I felt like that as a veteran. I don't know why everybody's so hard on me. I don't feel like I say mean things online. I say things to stand up for myself. That's what you taught me to do as a soldier, American, and as a wrestler. So sometimes, being bullied is cool as a wrestler. People call you names and everything. It's not everybody. I don't know if it's some kind of Harry Potter school that I went when I was in high school, and they must have had more magic than me on the wrestling team or the wrestler, and as a high school student. So, I didn't know how it would have been to be a senior on the wrestling team. So they was trying to make me a leader in the military, and I don't want to lead soldiers to death. I said, "Don't make me a leader. I don't know how good a leader I'll be in the military." So no, I don't know. I'm the goofy guy. Not a lot of people listen to the goofy guy, So, as a veteran, I feel like every time I try even harder, the harder you guys are on me. And I'm like, if that's the internet, you can't blame one person for the internet. It's never going to be fixed. You all get mad at each other, get mad at one person, and overnight you expect the internet to get fixed. Well, I learned more than that in the military. It takes a whole team to get things done in the military. It doesn't take one soldier in the military. I learned battle buddy shipness, if that's a word. So I know, if my battle buddies take me the wrong way like everybody else back home as a veteran, it's like, well, it's like, what did I do? All I do is come home and use the internet. It seems like everybody's out to get me because nowadays since everybody knows how to hack and scam each other, you can set each other's lives online instead of looking at each other like friends and family. That's what I feel as a human being online. Over the years, you all made it became robots online like they claimed it. Well, I feel like that's what happened. That's the reason why. Sometimes if the computer asks you if you're a robot, and I'm like, are you serious? They have to actually ask that on the internet if you're a robot or not? So I don't understand now. If I'm in a sci-fi movie, I'm the last hope to understand what human beings are online, because I'm the last human being, as you're all robots. And is that how fast people judge each other? Is like how the internet works? Oh, because as a veteran, I think all veterans should stand up and say, hey, buddy, what's the problem? I served my country after 9/11 attack online and everything, and you come down hard on me like that and expect not to have feelings and get upset about things, where I'm like, wow, they trusted me in the military over the years. My battle buddies trusted me to be on guard. My battle buddies trusted me in the convoy. They took me on convoys. And I'm like, woo! Yes, once they show me there was explosions in my battle buddies, look, there's a bomb and people can get blown up, Commiso. Why are you laughing and smiling at war? Because I was on an adventure. I was in the military. I showed respect to my country. I showed respect to my family. I showed respect to my friends. I show respect to the flag. I show respect to the president. I show respect to the government. Being an American soldier is a lot of things. It's not just a job. It's a job. Serving your country is a job, but it's more than a job serving your country. I see that now. So, I don't pick on anybody on the internet. I don't hack people's computers. I don't try to get into people's business online. I'm trying to do what they taught me in high school. To search your history. To search doing a book report. What happened to the internet? The internet was a learning tool. You know? The internet you're supposed to learn off the internet. So I don't know what you expect me to learn back home as your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. So it's like I'm 41 years old. And I'm like, why am I 41 years old? Everybody's like, when you get older, you're supposed to do less in your life because you get old. And you sit around and wait for the end or something. Is that wisdom? Is that the wisdom you teach your kids? Oh, you better do something when you're young. Because when you get old, you're not be able to do anything when you're old. That's something like the internet. It's like, well, we allow you to get so far in life nowadays because of the internet, while we just sit there and scam each other's lives and wonder why everybody's poor on the street. Well, it's because we're all assholes in the world. We all can sit there and allow each other to talk bad about each other we also view each other as family and friends in the world, right? What's on is family and friends in the world. So you want to have a community and make more family and friends in the world. That's not how the internet works. You have to watch they try to say, well, the law monitors the internet, but you still have to watch what you do online because the law is not capable of keeping the internet safe. Is that the advertisement you show to the world, that the law is not smart enough to keep the internet safe? If that's why you get your people in trouble over something on the internet? So, I'm just back home as a veteran. That's all I am. I'm just a veteran back home. And apparently there's some kind of system where, well, if one person decided to scam your computer, then you're all going to believe everything that is heard about me, because that's all people do is talk shit about each other on the internet, as I feel. But I don't know. It seems like, are you all hiding online nowadays in a social media where everybody wants to be on their own everybody wants to be their own show. Everybody wants to be their own channel. People don't see the world as everybody else sees the world on the internet. So when I watch television and realize how much years went by, and damn, I didn't keep up with television and movies for years, because I was always trying to make something out of myself over the years on the internet. I didn't have time to watch movies and apps and streaming live, everything on the internet. So where I'm like, well, if I feel like if nobody says anything, it's not going to get fixed. So, damn, if we don't fix this, we're just going to basically destroy ourselves online, and as a crash, a hack, or something screws your computer so you won't be able to go online. So there's chances that people can scam your computer and you're not even using the internet at all, because they direct your whole life on the internet. And I don't think that's how the internet should be. That's not what was taught as a human being before the internet. As life on this planet, we all should have our own mind of our own. The reason why you go to schools and get an education to learn how to use your own mind and have a mind of your own, not be like the internet and I'm going to sit there and believe everything I hear because everybody's selfish and greedy or something, to where they're all haters, or maybe people forget what a joke is. I don't know. But I feel like somehow my wrestling career in high school is now as a veteran, since people can set you up to get blown up in IED as an American soldier on the internet with cell phones, and they use the internet to blow up American soldiers online and people watch it. People get set up by everything as porn and sex and every topic you all talk about on the internet. So somebody must have read up online and watched my videos on YouTube and then said, hey, I know that guy. I'm going to backstab that guy. And nobody's going to see him as a hero back home because I'm a scammer and identity thefter and a hater on the internet. And you all claim that you hate somebody, but you want to be that person. You know, imagine how many people wanted to be Michael Jackson in the world. But somehow you claim that you hate somebody, but everybody wanted to be like Michael Jackson. So we have some kind of system where we look up to each other as life on this planet. So if we know how to rate movies and rate videos and TV shows and streaming things, I don't understand the conflict of why you blame one person over the violence on the internet. That's why we are viewing that online. There's a difference between watching a movie to real life, saying, why are we sitting there and we know what life and death is. I don't think we need to be educated on life and death as life on this planet no more. So I feel like you all sit there and want the internet to be safe or safer. And the reason why you beat up people and bing bang and this and that, call people names, is you're fixing the internet. Right? You decide, well, they're all bullying each other online. I'm going to bully them too and see what the outcome. And what did you do to fix the internet? You just found a way to get together and say, get jealous of me on the wrestling team. So I didn't feel it at the time. You know, I had a good wrestling team, and I know that every wrestler was a good wrestler. But there was time I was like, I didn't feel like the wrestling team was close at one point. And the pressure being Commiso in school art in the first place, where everybody's trying to be cool online, as everybody's trying to be cool in high school. Well, the same thing in your whole life. Same thing being a kid. How you have to be the cool kid on the block. So, I don't understand the conflict of using the internet in the 21st century nowadays. So, I don't know if there's certain people trying to make you believe that the internet's bad so they can find an excuse to use the internet to use it more bad. You know, because it's easy to say the internet's safe and positive, but you got to have a guarantee on it, on Tommy Boy. They guarantee your safety online as a label on Tommy Boy. But they just guarantee a bunch of bullshit, man. So is that how we have to have rely on the internet? We all have to rely on the internet, but the internet's bullshit. So it's like, you know, I had to prove myself as a veteran. And now I have to prove myself as a veteran at court. I'm like, how easy you can help me. I felt like I earned my medals, as I felt like I earned my wrestling medals on the team. As I wrestle hard, I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to lose for my team. And I got dislocated collarbone, broke a sternum, and there was a chance I could have had a hernia on the wrestling team. So, as an adult, as Commiso back home from war, as a veteran, it's like, wow, we have the ability to do the impossible on this planet, as landing on the moon. In the beginning, everybody thought the planet was flat. Now we're landing people on the moon. So you're trying to sit there as family and friends online in the world. You want the internet to be fucked up and messed up in the future, so your family get fucked up and messed up in the future on the internet? That sucks. Because now we have a tool that can help the world as the internet. Fix things. But we sit there and allow people to screw it over. And then it's like we are affected by what somebody calls you on the internet as a bully. As somebody bullies you, it affects everybody. Anybody gets, then you all start bullying each other over the same subject. And then we just be mean and assholes to each other on this plane. I don't think that's how the internet should be. You know, if you think about it, billions and quadrillions of dollars every day is put into the internet. If you pay for the internet or not around here. And you're trying to tell me, like, I'm an American and everybody's always complaining about taxes all the time. But as an American, as long as I see my taxes doing something where it's supposed to, I won't complain as an American because the tax is doing what it's supposed to. As the law, pay taxes for the law to protect you on the internet. You pay the taxes so the fireman protects you from the fire. You pay taxes so your country is safe from every harm away from everyone. That's why you pay your taxes. So where you know Well, if they don't use your taxes, you always get your money back when taxes come around, or how much you made that year, you get back, or something like that. Then you got money to spend in the community. There's nothing wrong giving out money too, you know. So we have to save. We got to remember to save, but we also have to spend. So if we don't have enough money to spend, then don't get mad at us. Where I pay my taxes, I feel like I pay my bills the best of my ability, as I feel like I paid it on time when I was with my ex-landlord. I'm a very responsible person. So when somebody said, you're not responsible enough to use the internet, we have to be monitoring you. And I feel like I got real signed Babe Ruth baseball, and they know that I collect disability. And over the years, seems like a few people decided to some people try to get me kicked off, I felt like, off the wrestling team. You know, if we break Commiso, he won't wrestle the next year. You know, if we get Commiso in trouble in school, we won't wrestle the next year or whatever. So I felt, as I had to hold back in school, when I felt sometimes people do things to irritate you on purpose, as I came from training, and, well, not just, but you learn things as you go on. When you see a shy, quiet kid, that shy, quiet kid is watching everybody in the school, in the class, and the teachers, watch everything. Because all he's doing is, he can't, you know, it's too nervous to speak, and all he's doing is watching everybody all the time. So you get the feeling of somebody walking up to you and say, why is he walking up to me like this? And I'm on the wrestling team. So, you know, there's gangs in school. You know, you teach your kids there's gangs and terrorists online, and you all out to kill each other like idiots or something. I don't know how that works. Like idiots or stupid idiots. But that's the same thing what I had. Remember, I wrestled after 9/11 attack in high school. I kept on wrestling on the wrestling team. So sometimes I wasn't sure if people joined the wrestling team just to bully me and picked on me, because I told everybody that I was going in the military and serve my country when I graduated from high school. So I don't know who I wrestled. I just wrestled because I wanted to win. I just wanted to win I didn't want nothing to distract my life, but being a teenager and a wrestler on the wrestling team, and then 9/11 happened to me in high school, all that shit must have affected me you know, maybe I was trying to hide the fact things affected me in school, and I don't know how to show my feelings to people. So when I'm on a wrestling team, and feels like everybody wants to pick a fight with me because I'm on a wrestling team, as you all sit there and act like there's no gangs in school for some reason. I don't know why. And so, I don't know. I'm back now from war. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. The system is hard on everybody. It don't matter who you are. But then what are you teaching as the law to people? It doesn't matter how good you are, no matter how nice you are and respectful, you did good things in life, you have a good background to you, you're going to screw that person online no matter what. And I'm like, why? You know, it's kind of weird that people just try to say sex is bad. You're kind of fucking weird as hell. Because you all grew up with sex in the 60s, the 70s, and 80s. There been so much sex on television back in the day. Everybody was used to it, and nobody had to get beat up over sex and nudity on television back in the day. Because we all accept each other as a human being and knew what sex is. as television. Just sex is sex. If it's sex on internet or television or not, sex is sex, right? Eventually going to have to learn about sex, and teach your kids, right? So maybe the law teach their kids different from sex than the Americans, or as an American citizen, as a disabled combat veteran. Is that what you're trying to teach the world or whatever? But sex is sex, and y'all face sex online if you're online or not. No matter what age, everybody's faced with that word sex on the internet, if you're on the internet or not, as a human being. So you figure, well, instead of arguing and getting people in trouble, and it costs money over the years trying to drag out a case and everything, it costs a lot of money to the taxpayers to drag on a case as an American hero back home like that. So where I'm like, I still don't feel like I did anything wrong on the internet as an American hero back home. Yeah, I get it. When you get pop-up sites, you see shit. Wow, if you allow people to get pop-up sites, everybody sees shit on the internet. So what's your point as the law on the internet? Just because you decided to talk bad about me and call me a name and pop up sites on my computer doesn't make me a bad person. So I can still argue the fact that I'm a good guy. Just some idiots decided to scan my computer after 9/11, and I'm like, wow, what are you guys? It's like, wow, I did earn my medals on the wrestling team. I was supposed to win that match because I was the hardest wrestler and I wasn't trying to cheat. The coach said, don't slam your wrestlers on the mat. I said, okay, I get it. I just pinned everybody. That's what I think. I was like, if I just hurry up and pin you, I don't have to worry about getting into a move or whatever. And so I guess some of the wrestlers or some of the parents or some of the coaches on the other schools or the referees must have got upset with me because I came from Trenton. How can I beat somebody in Princeton if I came from Trenton? And I think that's the mentality of school, and that's how you teach your kids. If I come up from a richer part of the town, I deserve more respect from the law because I came from a richer part of the town. So where, damn, it seems like they're treating us even more like shit because you all decided to make a ghetto in Trenton or a hood or something. So I'm allowed to get treated like street as an American hero back home. I thought I earned respect back home as an American hero. So I don't think I deserve to get treated like streets from court or anybody. So if my hometown court was trying to help me over the years, this seems like you're trying to get me in trouble because you're the one hacked my life over the years. It's not hard to put a puzzle together on the internet nowadays. I like putting puzzles together. And I'm pretty good putting the puzzles together. I like solving things. So I wanted to learn more about the generator. When I was a generator mechanic, I wanted to learn even more about the generator. Then they had other jobs in the military. It would have been, I like how they cross-trained. I would have stood up all night and weld things. If they taught me how to weld in the military, I would have welded. Because it's good to learn different jobs because it makes you better a generator mechanic. You know more than just being a generator mechanic. As I cross-train in the military, to where my hometown law teaches me, or the law teaches themselves that they're more superior. But that's not American law. I think the law, that's not how the law works. You can't sit on the internet saying you're better than everybody and wonder why people get mad. So I don't think that's how the American law works. There's some type of American justice in America. So I don't know what the conflict is of using the internet in the 21st century, but The internet shouldn't be that hard to use, and the internet should be the safest thing in the whole world. The safer the internet, the safer the world be. So I don't know what direction everybody is just trying to sit there and have organized crime over nudity and sex online. Because over time, people are saying it's like trying to win the lottery on nudity and sex online. If you can make it a porn star and everybody's happy as you go knowing that you're and everything, to where everybody said, fuck you, you're not even responsible enough to be a human being using the internet, and no, you don't need to know more about sex online because I'm going to be monitoring you the rest of your life, and you're not going to get any further in life. As you all know the future too, online, not just one person. So, I don't know what type of student I was, and I didn't know what type of wrestler I was. I don't know what type of American soldier I was. I don't know what type of battle buddy I was. I don't know what type of a brother I was. I don't know what type of son I was. I don't know what type grandson I was, or I don't know. I'm probably an uncle now. I don't know what type of uncle I am. I don't know what nephew I was. But, you know, there's still life and human being. It's okay to stand up for each other. I have a big family, and I don't think I lost all my friends. So where, man, how easy it is to make each other's lives a better place to live as using the internet. So, you all can get mad. It's just like the more they get mad at me, it's the more I seem like they're the ones who are trying to scare my life. Because if the law knows that I'm a veteran, they won't treat me that way. Knowing that I know what they know, that I know they know I went to war online. That's how the internet is. Because it's not a hidden world. That's why it's hard for me to believe that there's a dark internet, as everybody hack each other's information and put everything on public internet in the first place. So there's no hidden internet. We're all just talking bad about each other and determine who's cool enough to use the internet. And you put the streets on the internet. And I'm like, well, I did something in my life online. You know, I taught kids that it's okay to serve your country in America. If people bully you as an American soldier, then there must be an idiot. You're doing something good in your life. You know, back when everybody's talking about history, they can say good things about Michael Commiso serving his country. But that's not how the world works. You know, they say, write a book about yourself. But if I do that, you would change every word in my book and make something different about in my life, as you do on the internet. So, I'm not a mean person. I feel like I took all the hits on the mat because I didn't want to be mean to anybody, but I feel like they was trying to get me mad on the wrestling team. So I don't know how I let out my feelings back home as a veteran, but I'm trying my best to let out my feelings, so maybe one day you all could chill with your American heroes back home as your veterans, you know, as an American country. So, I don't know who's on my computer. And they say, that's how they, just because I don't know who's on my computer doesn't mean the whole world doesn't know who's on my computer. I think that's social media. Either way, somebody's going to find who's on my computer nowadays and wondering why. Because that's not how the internet. Are we all spies on the internet? Well, then you should know that, wow, the one thing that everybody's happy about, and I feel like I feel like we have accomplished something online to, it seems like everybody uses the internet to know something all the time on the streets. People use the internet to hack each other, to know more about each other on the internet. So when the court tells me I don't know what I'm talking about. I should shut up. I will get in more trouble if I speak at court. Man, I can end this shit and we could have a good, everybody be chilling right now on the internet. It's unfair for the law just to throw everything at you as the internet. And we're not supposed to see things too. Like I said, positive internet is going to come no matter what because people are tired of that negative television. People are tired of negative internet. People are tired of negative news. Because I just can't understand how we come up with inventions like the internet for all we do is hack each other's lives and shit on each other and say, fuck it, we don't give a shit as life on this planet. And I'm like, wow, is that what the law teaches the kids online? Because that's what you're teaching your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. If I'm good enough to use the internet, and I'm like, wow, who would go out of the way to backstab a disabled combat veteran? You know, I don't think I'm disrespectful to people. They can make it look like you're disrespectful. That's how the internet works. They can make it look like you're something as you did now and call me a name. So I could have got my head chopped off and blown up by some jerk off or an asshole in the world because there's some asshole in the world for some odd reason to come home, and I'm like, wow, I served my country to come home, and the first thing you do is scan my computer and hack my life and screw my life over. You didn't give me a chance to be an artist back home. You didn't give me a chance to be a dad back home, a good parent. You didn't give me a chance to party with my family. You didn't give me a chance to party with my friends. You know, nobody actually got to know Commiso back home from work because everybody just hack each other's lives and sit there and stare at each other. And you made me something more. I'm just a veteran. I'm an American hero. I feel that I earned my medals in the military. I didn't know about my medals until they wrote it on a piece of paper and said, Commiso, you got to buy these. Well, they gave me 2 medals, I think, 2 medals. But they said, you got to go to the PX and buy your medals, and here's the list on the paper. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, let's get there. And I go to the PX, and I see all these different types of medals, and it's from different branches. You got PX for Army, Marines, and the Navy, and the Air Force, and the Navy SEALs, or National Guards, and Coast Guard, and they all put the medals together. There must be some kind of system in the military. I guess they try to teach, they try to say, you have to learn about your medals, Commiso, so you go buy them and learn about your medals. We give you clothing allowance. You should be able to buy your medals, Commiso. I said, not really, because I wanted to do things. When I got to Fort Bragg, I never went to North Carolina before. You know, the traveling from, it wasn't the same. You know, it's like people didn't have the same adventure of traveling North Carolina as they did when I was in overseas, and we're Americans for the first time seeing Germany as Americans saying, wow, this is cool, man. All the different types of buildings. So when we go to America, everybody said, we've already been in North Carolina. We already know what's going on and everything. So I got sad in the military because, you know, it was cool that they kept some of my battle buddies with me. But it just felt like, where's all my battle buddies? And then it was like on the wrestling team. I didn't feel the same as I did when I first joined the military. You know, because my higher rank I achieved a lot in my first duty station, and I was just being a shy, goofy guy saying, I don't care. As long as I get my weekends. No, I respected the higher rank. I knew that. I respected all the ranks in the military. I was just a natural. I was the soldier that was nice to everybody in basic training. Because I was just a nice person. So if somebody talked to me in basic training, I don't remember all the conversation at the time because I didn't want to get the drills all I set in my mind. I don't want the drill sergeant to yell at me anymore. As long as I do everything right in basic training, no drill sergeant's going to yell at me. Some soldiers come up to talk to me, and we had to do things together in the class. So I had to react. They must have knew I was in basic training at one point in time. And somehow I felt like I did pretty good in basic training. I didn't want to give up basic training. I said, I got this far in basic training. So why am I going to give up now? And I'm about to graduate. I got to keep going. I did something good in my life. Even graduating from basic training is accomplishment. All the schools that you learn in the military goes to your college degree. Everything you learn in the military goes to your college. Have you ever get a chance to go to college in America? So where I'm like, damn, it seems like everybody's trying to break you down. They must have known that because they break you. The reason why they break you down in basic training is not to break you down. They try to break everybody down in basic training so you learn how to work together. You learn how to be friends. You learn how to be battle buddies. You learn how to stick up for each other as in the basic training. Wait, that's the meaning of being a battle buddy. You stick up for your battle buddy. So I don't feel like I did anything wrong because I was standing up for my battle buddies. But I guess in the real world, the civilian world, you got to approach things that subject online in a different way. You have to have proper words. Sex is sex, but since you all made it sound dirty as porn, we're all stuck with this bullshit. Nobody hating each other over sex in the 21st century. Sex is sex. It's good to learn about sex. That's how you practice safe sex. That was another thing I was taught as an American child in American schools. You teach sex, so you practice safe sex. That's the whole point of sex online and nowadays. As back in the day, internet was a school instrument, a tool. So just because you all view sex like a weird way, doesn't mean I have to. I'm saying, holy shit, they're basically blaming me of the billions of sex and nudity online. I'm allowed to stand up for myself saying, well, if the law allows all this sex and nudity to happen online, how can you even come close to be mean to me as you had a lie in the statement about everything? As you made it sound like you monitored me for years, and I only had one more year for the law to monitor me so I can live my life online. But it seems like you scammed me just to drag out saying you're not good enough as an American hero on the internet. So I don't know if everybody acknowledged the internet, but I think you acknowledge the internet as life on this planet. I think we acknowledge that we're all human beings online, except maybe a few of the artificial robots and some of your smart pets knows how to click buttons or something. But majority of the world online, maybe the aliens from outer space is on our that's another thing that sucks. You know, radio raids. Things travel in space. If sound can travel, there's no gravity. So how fast does sound can travel and how fast sound travel on Earth? Sound could travel faster in outer space because there's no gravity. So if we're making a whole bunch of noise on this planet and there's alien places out in space, how quickly they can find us on the internet? And I'm like, we all worry about backstabbing each other on a sex and nudity, and you figure as an adults and everybody will try to practice safe sex because you want that to happen to your kids in the future on the internet? No. And so you put the streets online. So since a few people decided to backstab me and call me a name, and I'm like, what the heck did I do to people? So this is a good saying for veterans. I found a saying for veterans. Hey, buddy, what's your problem? He does it more like, hey, buddy, what's your problem? And if you could get mad at a veteran because they ask what's your problem bullying a veteran after 9/11 attack, then there's something really wrong with you in your mind. Or you really want money from me, right? Yeah, you can say people keep trying to keep the internet safe, but everything's money. Even the law has to make money off of sex and nudity in the 21st century, where you all know how to make sex and nudity off of money as the law themselves. So you can't teach anybody else on the internet. Only the law can teach themselves how to make money. And everybody needs a pocket money nowadays. So, I don't know what I did back home is my hometown. I'm an American citizen. I feel like I'm trying to make something out of myself. I apologize. I didn't take comedy in college. I didn't get a chance to. But I'm pretty fun. And all I can do is learn as I go. Everybody's always pressuring each other. If you don't know the answer right away, there must be something wrong with you in school. Well, I was on the wrestling team, and I had a speech impediment, and there could have been some kind of ADD or dyslexic shit going on in my mind. I don't know. At the time, we're on top of that. I was the shy, goofy guy in school. So if you all think I went to all the social time in school, no. It was school right back to home. And whatever the kids around me was doing at the time. And the next day is the same weekend or the same thing. Whoever wanted to hang with me on the weekend. But I always went back to school. So if there was some kind of cool party or some kind of coolness going on, I didn't even went to camp. So I guess that's why I was like, wrestling camp. I know all the wrestling moves. They're probably going to teach me the same shit as the other. I said, I want to go to camp where everybody's chilling and eating food and having fun and playing basketball or whatever they have at the time at the camp. That's the camp I wanted to go in the summer, but I didn't get a chance to. So it's always wrestling, school, home. Wrestling, school, home. Wrestling, school, home. So it's always like, what are everybody doing in school? I don't know. All the years went by. So the same thing, being a veteran. You all decided to find ways not to chill and party with your veterans back home, and all the years I look in the mirror and say, Commiso's got gray hair. This is not possible. Just because the planet is aging, I shouldn't have to age with the planet, as the perfect life should be in outer space. But I guess not everything's perfect. Or until we can adapt and learn and accomplish more in life. So all we're going to do is sit there and bully each other on the internet and hate on each other because we can't solve shit. So I want to live the way I wanted to live our life. I wanted to say, well, back in the day, cool people send you cool things, and you won't get in trouble. Back in the day, oh, these were all the cool places are Commiso on the internet. You should go. So nobody should get in trouble over sex and nudity if we all know where to go to have sex and nudity online. But they mess up the site so they can have a reason or excuse to assume the worst out of life on the human being on the internet. So since then, nobody wants to get in trouble online, I feel like, over sex and nudity. They found ways to backstab people and saying, well, I'm the law. I could do and monitor everything and do what I want because I'm the law on the internet. So I'm allowed to watch shit. You all get mad at me. That means you could go home knowing that people practice safe in America, practice safe sex. To have billions of nudity and billions of sex online, I think Americans has accomplished safe sex on the internet. You don't just get American sex online. Another reason why you should update the law on the internet is we see sex and nudity from every country all around the world on the internet. So there's more sex and nudity than my law back home teaches me. They said there's no sex and nudity online. You shouldn't have this on your computer because there's no sex and nudity online. I'm a weirdo as an American citizen that watched porn in a free country. There must be something wrong with me. And I'm sitting there, how can you say that to a veteran? What's your problem? Dude, what's your problem? What, hey bud, what's your problem? Back in the day, you all know where a porno store was before the internet, right? You all went to the same porno store back in the day. So now, shit, damn, the internet, they actually still get mad over sex and nudity in the 21st century, and that's like the major subject and around the world on the internet. So now I'm like not taking a fall for the whole country. I'm taking a fall for the whole world over sex and nudity. Even you as the judge or the lawyer or the cops as the law will get frustrated and upset when you have to take the fall for every sex and nudity that's on the internet in the 21st century. That's unfair. And then in school, they said to be nice to each other. So that's the same thing, having sex with each other. They try to teach you, eventually, as a teenager, you're eventually going to figure out what sex is as a teenager and in American systems, as an American country, as an American community online, as a worldwide internet. So somebody must have known that I'm being viewed on the worldwide internet, and you must have got jealous of me when I was wrestling in school. That's funny, because I was a shy, quiet kid, and I felt like the outcast, but I got a few haters on my computer. That's weird. You had to go out of your way to make me look bad, and I'm like, who would do that? Right after 9/11, when 9/11 is still on the internet. So as Americans, we have to view 9/11 the rest of our lives saying, wow, what the heck? What did everybody kill each other for in the world? Over sex and nudity? Over stupid shit? As we all should be viewing each other as family and friends in the world online. So you want your family and friends to be safe. As kids, use the internet 24 hours a day. So I feel like, as my American law system, want the kids to be safe. But you're not keeping your kids any safe by telling you only allowed to bully a few people about sex and nudity kids. Don't bully me as a law on the internet, because I know about sex and nudity online. Don't bully me because of this, because I'm on this, because I'm this online. Well, you're allowed to bully a disabled combat veteran after 9/11, and that's what my hometown court is trying to teach me. It's okay for me, somebody to call me a name, and the law allows to happen, and wonder why there's conflict online on the streets in the world. So it should be a way easier for me as Michael Commiso. Love is love, right? Love, sex. You have to fall in love to have sex. Okay. Okay. Love, you have to have love to have sex. If it's okay that you love each other, and I guess that I looked up the age consent. Each country's got different type of age consent. And in America's You could get an age consent at 14 years old. If the parents are okay with it and everybody, you can have an age consent as a 14 teenager in America. As a difference from other countries. So the 14-year-old knows what they're doing as a teenager. People know what they're doing on the internet. They all act confused and don't know. People know what they're doing on the internet. As the law knows what they're doing on the internet. So apparently, to win over people's votes at court or judge, you have to lie a lot to get people in trouble to win votes to be a judge or a court. Is that how America's system works on the internet? You have to lie, saying, well, I'm getting all these bad guys off the street, so you should vote me to be a judge at court in Trenton, New Jersey. I think if you had a higher rank or higher responsibility to the community as a government, you also has to take the responsibility. I think it should be, we vote for our leaders. We should vote for every leader in America. So they must have said, oh, well, since nowadays everybody's kind of afraid of the law on the internet and saying, well, if you mess up just a little bit, they're going to come down hard on you, and you can't do that in the future. As I'm an American citizen and I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11, and you can all say it doesn't mean anything to be an American veteran, then there's something wrong with my hometown court. They're doing this to irritate me so I can mess up, and they must do that to the kids too, right? They know what it takes to irritate people, so they're going to do it anyways and see what happens. No, they do it on purpose. They know what to do to irritate people nowadays. The internet is more advanced as you all make the internet. So that's mean to be bullied because you're a higher rank, and since you're labeled as the law, you could just sit there and talk bad about people and then wonder why there's violence on the streets. I don't think that's American law. So is the law in every state is different on sexual nudity in America? That's another thing that I learned by doing research on the internet. They taught me in school, it's okay to do research on the internet, so I try to do research back home as a disabled combat veteran. So each state has a different type of law on sexual nudity, and then wonder why everybody's getting fucked up on the same thing as sexual nudity on the internet. I feel that, yes, we accomplished that there's states in America, but this is the United States of America, and just because your state or whatever state or what a few people decide to judge somebody because you got mad at or jealous of them because they found out that there's sex and nudity on the internet. Nowadays, when you get in trouble with sex and nudity, somebody's jealous of you on the internet and wants to take everything away from you so they won't get caught and allowed to keep be monitoring porn. Because I highly doubt porn that's legal in America, man, that must be the easiest job to monitor porn as the law too. Right? Think about it. You're saying it's porn is safe to watch, but shit, you're not keeping porn safe as the law. Don't you think over time as an American citizen will say that's messed up? You know, that's not how it is. You know, they make it look worse than it is. That's how you did it over the years on sex and nudity. So why are you making people hate each other over sex and nudity? And that's like shit. We learned that shit in school before we use the internet as kids nowadays in the world. When we get taught in school. So they act like you learn everything from the internet, so I'm going to treat you like this way. When I'm like, wow, I wonder if the law knows that when I was an American kid, I was taught about sex in American schools. Just because I wasn't a cool kid on the block and got laid like everybody else on the internet in school, as you act like sex is some kind of mystery on the internet. There's no mystery in sex and nudity. So I like the golden years of porn. They want me to talk about porn, and they want me to take a lie detector, saying I'm not an honest veteran, so I need to take a lie detector so we can prove. I guess there's certain question. So prepare for your question for your little lie detector, because I know I've been telling the world what I've been doing on the internet for years, so I have nothing to hide on a lie detector. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know a hometown court could do all this shit to American hero after 9/11 like that. So it seems like my hometown court is trying to find more information. That's the reason why the people are monitoring my computer after 9/11. I guess they forget about that. I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. You know, maybe it's easy to scam everybody else at court, but me, a veteran? I didn't even have a chance to explore the internet. Man, you guys are stupid. The court should allow me to explore the internet more, then I would have billions of shit on my computer. But you wanted me to shut up and stop making my YouTube videos, didn't you? After the years. There are haters like that. I can't believe there's haters on the internet. There's people that sit there on your computer and they know so much about you that they don't want you to make it at all on the internet. That's the type of people that's on the internet. But again, what are you teaching your kids? It's okay to bully some kids in school, but shit, you can't stand up for yourself and saying this is fucking bullshit. I served my country to get beat up and everybody scam me and rob me and steal my shit, steal my mail. You know, I waited, I'm missing like 4 signed Babe Ruth baseball. And you're Americans on the street. You're allowed to allow Americans to allow people steal my mail. You're a corny gang outside. Like, you're acting like gangs the future. Who wants to be in a fucking gang? You're all losers that don't know how to stand up for each other on the street. As you don't even know how to stand up for your disabled combat veterans. Terrorists? Holy shit, you must be the stupidest motherfucker in the world that you want to be a terrorist. And you don't even know what the fuck you're doing it for a reason. I don't even know fucking why. So man, you all grew up with Michael Jackson music? It's hard to believe that the world grew up with Michael Jackson music at all. How heartless people can be to each other fucking sucks. And I didn't come back home to a heartless law, acting like law never been on the internet and don't see shit. And this is the first time they experience, I'm going to be, and it feels like you monitor me because you want to screw my life over on purpose. How hard it is to help a veteran right now. So imagine all the art I could have been making. Because either way, if you send me the bad sites or not, I'm still trying to make my art online. You can also, the court can say, oh, I'm not trying to make art. I can prove that I can make art. That's another thing. It's kind of weird when a hometown court in the state of New Jersey decided to bully me. So when you put somebody in jail or in prison, do you all swoop in and rob everybody, steal everything that came from that person as a disabled combat veteran after 9/11 attack in New York City? That's weird. That's super weird. Because it seems that you're just jealous of me. So there was times in wrestling, I didn't feel like the team was always there all the time. I'm not saying I had bad friends on the wrestling team. I had friends on the wrestling team. I had friends in school. People came up and talked to me. I was just a shy, quiet kid. I didn't have the nerve to always go up. I was shy around all the ladies in school because they taught me to respect each other as kids, as a student. You got to respect ladies even more. So it seems like everybody's trying to get me in trouble back home because you're jealous of me. And the only reason why we fuck each other's lives over nowadays, because everybody's a bunch of jealous motherfucking haters in the world. As you all grew up with Michael Jackson music in the world, dude. So I don't even think I give off that I'm a bad guy on my speeches. I didn't write down my speeches. I have to lose this weight because it's weighing me down. I understand Bruce Lee. They said they found Bruce Lee's workout paper. I said, now they found it? How the heck they found it now? People throw them things away. And they said Bruce Lee worked out so he'd be able to move fast. Bruce Lee worked out. He didn't go heavy weights. He did more wet reps. So the bodybuilder's right. Just because you can pick up more weight doesn't mean you're strong enough to pick up that weight. You got to gradually get to that weight. I understand. But I was proud of myself that I can lift heavier weight. And I'm saying, I'm getting stronger. It doesn't even feel like it's that much. So now I'm 41. I had a hernia surgery. Hopefully I don't have another hernia. And I'm 300 pounds. And I'm like trying to achieve stuff. Do I stop trying to be who I am online because some few people decide to sit there and say I'm not good enough to be somebody? Well then, what's the purpose of life? If all people do is sit there and kill each other online, in life, what's the purpose of life? Is that we teach each other we're not good enough to have positive news. We're not good enough as life to have positive internet or internet television or anything. We just have to take death as it is and accept it. And I don't feel like I should have to. I highly doubt we got this far in outer space to destroy our planet and not get any further. It doesn't make any sense. We allow ourselves to land on the moon as life on this planet, but we're too stupid enough to figure out how to get along on the internet. And what's cool to watch nowadays is I highly doubt people sit there and watch each other kill each other on the internet in the 21st century. So I don't know what everybody's problem is. That's just a good saying for veterans. Hey bud, what's your problem? Because I just came back home from war. You all questioning me if I had combat PTSD or not. And I'm like, well, you saw my videos at war, so I have video proof. I got picture proof. And maybe that's the reason why you wanted to steal my pictures. So I won't prove that I'm a veteran, so you're allowed to sit there and call me a name and put me away for the rest of my life over billions and quadrillions of sex and nudity online. Because I realize once you watch one porno movie, you get used to that one and you want to watch another porno movie. So I guess that's why there's billions of porno movies on there. So if everybody's born to watching the same porno movie, they make another porno movie 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. There's a new sex online video 24 hours a day. But you must have saw that I collective instability, and even one of the cops saying that, oh, I'm stealing your stuff now because I'm a cop. You said that to me when you bust down my door. So you want to, my stuff is real. I got signed Babe Ruth baseball cards and signed Babe Ruth baseballs in this. And I don't know what happened to my Jackie Robinson baseball bats. So is that how the world really works? You know, you turn back on each other as family and friends like that on the internet and don't even question why people would do that to a veteran. And when I'm like, I didn't know. It's like, you make the choice to screw your life over online. So where everybody's allowed to watch each other die on the internet, and I'm like, what are you teaching your kids? You're saying, well, as long as I don't get caught on the internet, the law will pick on you as the billions of sex online, and the law will allow have sex online. Because the law likes sex themselves online. Maybe the law could claim that they hated sex online back in the day online. But you can't really claim that as the law right now. It can really, if you really want to fuck up the world like that, everybody dies over sex and nudity, and we destroy our planet like idiots. We didn't even got the chance to know what a caveman is on this planet. We didn't even get a chance to learn all the animals and different names of types. There's oxygen, water. It takes math to have oxygen. As other planets don't have oxygen, it takes math to have oxygen on this planet. So, what type of people will talk bad about sex and nudity? The same people that's scamming your computer and trying to take your money and your life away so they can have a pocket money and scam somebody's thing and say, okay, kids, it's okay to bully somebody because we call that guy or person or woman or whatever or a child a name online. What did you teach your kids? It means you teach your kids that shit, you're fucked or not if you use the internet. That's how you taught me as a veteran. It didn't matter what I do on television or the internet. You're going to direct me and say, I ain't going to be good enough. And you teach your kids the same way. We're all capable on this planet is to die. We don't go to school for a reason. We don't have some kind of system on this internet planet. That's stupid. People call me slow and stupid my whole life. But we're too fucking stupid enough to destroy our life from the planet. And that's not my fault back home as a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. I gotta put it on a movie. Just watch The Fifth Element. I like The Fifth. Yes, I didn't get a chance to watch every single thing like everybody else did on the internet. Back in the day, people only watched what they felt like to watch in the movie that felt good for them. And then you watch the other movie that was in the movie theater back in the day. So now everybody can see every single goddamn movie and television show around the world because of the internet. So I didn't get a chance to keep up with the streaming world because maybe I was meant to do something else. Maybe the reason why you couldn't hold me in jail because you really didn't have anything to hold me in the first place. And now you're all nervous. And since you're all some tough motherfucker in Trenton, you're allowed to beat up your veterans back home and call them a name and blackmail them. And I'm serving and protecting my American flag and my country and my way of life as an American. So I like my freedom. I don't think I take my freedom for granted as an American veteran. They taught me in America, you get a lawyer in America and fight for your rights. Where I'm like, well, how hard is it for veterans to fight for their rights back home after non? We didn't have time to fight for our rights. I guess we was fighting for our rights. Where was that war? I knew I was at war for a reason as Commiso. And the more I think about it, I had to cheer up my battle buddies at war. I noticed that my battle buddies were sad. I know my battle buddies were angry. And they was upset as my battle buddies. And I was sitting around, I wonder why. Because we was at war. I said, I think some of my higher rank was trying to teach me, Commiso, do you know you're at war? Maybe I was a little in denial. I said, well, I thought, hey, I'm an American hero serving my country, living in the desert, and I'm from New Jersey. I can't live in the desert. But somehow I survived in the desert. And I'm like, they said, not just the bad guy can kill you at the war. You got other things that can kill you in the desert. You got the heat stroke into the heat in the desert. You got big giant bugs and some kind of sand fleas and everything. And I don't even know what else is there. Because it's a desert. You got sinkholes. You got, what do you call them? Those little things you're sinking in. Maybe that's why they gave you a path and base and might walk this path because there could be a sinkhole in the desert. Well, I guess I was in denial. I was trying to be like Goldman Powell. Remember Goldman Powell, the cop show? Oh, that's Goldman Powell is one with his son, his dad, and the son, Goldman Powell, and that song. That must have been playing in my head at the time when I was at war. Everything's going to be okay if I play this song in my mind. And somehow I will survive going, they tell me, Commiso, you're a gunner in a convoy. And they said, why did they make me the gunner? It's because I shot really good. They must have learned. I must have shot really good at basic training. They said, Commiso, we need you to be a gunner because we know you shot down your target. I said, oh, they figured it out. My first duty station figured out I shot pretty well at basic training. Because I didn't want to upset my drill sergeant. I shot down really good down there. I said, I better achieve something. I don't think this drill sergeant's going to stop picking on me if I don't achieve something in basic training. So when we went to eat, and they said, you better eat really fast or we're going to take your food or do whatever they're going to do to my wife in the cafeteria or the defac in the military. And I said, no, I'm hungry. I want to eat. And it was Fort Jackson. I had to eat. I would have died of heat stroke at Fort Jackson, basic training. I needed to put food in my body. They taught me you make sure you eat, make sure you drink a lot of water, beat the heat, drill sergeant, beat the heat, drill sergeant. I got that saying. I got it. And I said, that's what I thought when I went to the DFAC. I said, just eat this damn thing really fast. So they won't even acknowledge me in the DFAC. If I hide between I was trying to hide between the platoon and the squad. But somehow the other drill sergeants used me. All the drill sergeants got to know Commiso and basic training, not just the one. I said, how are they doing this? How this drill sergeant know me? Because they make you do more things. So I was on details. I didn't mind it. I thought the detail was pretty cool. You get these soldiers around here saying, oh man, I don't want to do this detail while we're here. And I'm like, wow, this is this is an office. There was not a lot of office. I went on basic training. I went to like the higher rank offices. And so as I was doing, I didn't care. Because the only thing I had in mind said, I better do this detail or the drill sergeant's going to yell at me. Because I felt like I had the meanest drill sergeant my drill sergeant I felt like the toughest drill sergeant than all the other drills. I just felt like that. I just felt, nobody's going to mess with this drill sergeant, Drill Sergeant Smith. That's why I said, just listen to this one. This guy seems like he knows what he's doing. Drill Sergeant Smith, just don't get him mad. I got one other drill sergeant mad at me. I was in shock and cried. That's the drill sergeant. Why'd you make me cry, Drill Sergeant? I was trying to tell me to help the battle buddies out. You trained me to help your battle buddies out, Drill Sergeant, and I didn't know what to do at the time but help my battle buddy out. And I cried. And so I just wrote a paper saying this is what I should have done. And now I feel like back on the internet. What I should have done while using the internet. What the heck do you want me to do? You throw everything at my computer. Well, I'm like, well, if this site says art, you would say this site is for art, right? No. Apparently they scam every site that's on the internet. They scam Facebook. They scam YouTube. They scam whatever else sites on the internet. They cite everything, not just sex and nudity. As nowadays, every site has sex and nudity on the internet. You can hack me and make me believe what you want me to believe as a misleading some kind of group of assholes online if you think about it. Because you want to fix the internet. We want to have a good future. I feel like people make videos to change the world nowadays, not to hate each other. I don't feel like I try to hate out people, up each other or whatever. That's another thing. When you get older, it seems like you, as an adult, you think more about ourselves as life, as people. When you're a kid, you're just a kid. You want to play with the other kid and be cool like the other kid in the playground. That's how simple it should be being a kid. No, there's more complications. Well, why can't we be that as an adult? Why can't we just go to the playground and say, our kids played here. Can I play too as an adult? My kids are playing here. No, well, maybe back in the day you could have done that. But it's you use the excuse to entrap people so you won't get in trouble monitoring the internet. That's weird. That's not how it was supposed. So I feel like you call me a name. I don't know. Because you have to be called something now, as it is. And no matter who you are, you got to be called something now. And I'm your disabled combat veteran now. So I'm not trying to earn. If you thought, yeah, when you make your drill sergeant happy, you're happy. You said, good, that's good. Isn't that a good thing? You make your drill sergeant. Nah, there was other soldiers saying, oh, Commiso's probably kissing the drill sergeant's ass, and I'm the intel of what people are doing in the barracks. I didn't mind when I was in the barracks. I didn't have time to figure out what everybody else was doing in the barracks. I had to get up in the morning and do PT again, and they run in the fucking heat. That's fucking. So if there were some things going on in the barracks and you think I was the intel telling the drills, no. I said, I didn't want to get my drill sergeant yelling at me, so I did everything. I said, it seems like if you do the right thing, if you shoot down the range the right way, if you figure out what the heck they were saying in the classroom when they're trying to teach you, if you throw the grenade the right way, you had to throw the grenade eventually the right way. I felt that you could, when you feel alive the grenade is heavier. You can feel a live grenade when it's heavier. And it just felt like something was in there. So when I had the grenade, I said, Commiso, we're giving you a live grenade. I said, oh shit, don't blame me. You gave me a grenade. So I hold it down my chest. I said, don't do anything to this grenade until they tell me to do something to the grenade. So I was sitting against the wall. Everybody's got a grenade. I said, oh crap. Someone's going to get nervous and drop the grenade. And I'm like, oh fuck. So we're all nervous holding the grenade. I'm sweating in the heat because it's the South Carolina. I said, oh, if I sweat anymore, I'm going to drop this grenade. I had fun in basic training. You know, I didn't see basic training as a hard day. I felt like we all came together as a team in basic training and got through basic training together, and that's the reason why we got through basic training. As to how hard is it for the world to get together and chill and say, well, it just seems, don't you think in the future that people are going to say, well, it just seems like the law wants to make money off of sex and nudity just like everybody else on the internet in the world. And then they're going to say, well, isn't that more messed up? Well, you accept taking money from a disabled combat veteran over something that you claim that you don't want people to do, but you're advertising it on television and internet. So yeah, I think, but who's going to get the good internet in the future? You think your kids on the internet is going to say, well, just because you all have a conflict in the world now, as kids, I have to have the same goddamn conflict in the future, and I can. They said to move on. It says, shall not judge, to move on, forgive. I'm trying to forgive because I feel like you are hard on me, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but it seems if I don't do something as the world I live online, in the real world, if you don't stand up for yourself on the streets, they're going to keep bullying you and picking on you. Isn't that what you teach each other on the streets in the world nowadays? So is that the same thing, abiding by the law on the internet? Well, we allowed to do all this shit because we know the law. Well, since I know a lot about the law, can I do the same thing to the law? If the law is allowed to entrap me over sex and nudity, can I entrap the law on the internet too? As an American citizen, saying, well, they're doing more sex and nudity than I do, as I'm trying to make art, and saying, just because you viewed the world that everything is a porno movie, it doesn't mean makes it a porno movie. So when I watch the apps, when they mix the movies with other movies, I say, no, it's not going to work like that in the future. Right now, everybody's saying it's not cool, though. We are affected. We all got some kind of PTSD using the internet, as we all got tunnel vision to where, wow, TV wasn't so hard back in the day. Watching a movie wasn't so hard. You got to put passwords in every site to get, if you really want to watch TV, you got to get passwords. Cable boxes are obsolete because everything's going to be done on television in the future. So I guess the law has to take the whole big giant television in your evidence. Because everything is televised now on the internet. So how can we have technology and use the technology to backstab each other, and wondering how there's even technology, if that's all we do in history and now, and how the heck there's any type of technology on this planet at all if all we do is backstab each other and screw your entire lives over on here? So I can't view the world as you want me to view the world, because that's not how it is going to happen in the future. I feel like the people are going to try to find, they try more geniuses. They want to try to find more people that has talent, because we're going to need that in the future. As to, we still have to, I think we do understand space enough to know that space is trying its best to keep life on this planet. If outer space is trying to keep life on this planet, then what's our problem as life on this planet? We already know it takes a lot of effort to create life in outer space, right? So why everybody want to waste their lifetime online to hate each other? We can improve everything. Every subject can be improved to where I highly doubt people want to watch violence and crime. Because medical marijuana, wow, now they all accept weed. But everybody been smoking weed for years. The conflict be gone. Everybody's smoking weed in the world. Stone. Everybody's practice safe sex in the future because they don't want to get in trouble with the law. So they know the laws on the computer to practice safe sex. Billions of nudity and sex online they basically zero down on me. They must, because somebody must have got jealous of me on the wrestling team. Or a few people, or our parents. Because I came from a poor school, so I'm not expected to win in a smarter and a better, richer school. If that's what you was trying to teach each other as students and teachers and coaches as life on planet Earth. But the internet should be more. So uh, I'm not going to accept few people to call me a name and say you're a bad person, and I feel like I'm being viewed by the world as everybody's being viewed on the world on the internet, not just me. I was trained in the military, and people still think I'm not trained in the military, and I'm like, if we're going to get hacked anyways, it's just like, whatever. If that's all people are capable of, is we're smart enough to, what? Because y'all can look on each other's information. That's what makes you smart, because you know how to hack and scam people. That makes you, no, not really. I think the internet's more than that. So you even talk bad about your celebrities. You talk bad about everybody as the social media internet. That's why I was a shy, quiet kid. It takes a whole lot of effort to talk. As you're saying, our ozone layer is thinning out, and wonder why people are getting shit, viruses and diseases while our ozone layers. You would think that everybody on planet Earth will figure out to stop the ozone layer from disappearing. So the planet has to fix the ozone layer, right? So instead of worrying about killing each other over sex and nudity or whatever conflict online, remember the planet's going to change. And the last time I checked, a big giant rock wiped out the dinosaurs on this planet from outer space. And the rock wasn't even big enough to take out the whole planet, but it did anyway. So now we know that the math is crazy in outer space. Compared to the math on planet Earth, the math, that means that it's because that thing was high speed. It was the speed that destroyed the planet. It's not the mass, not the weight, it's not the object. It was the speed, how fast it hit the planet. The planet couldn't take that impact because we have an ozone layer to worry about, and the planet has some kind of system of having life on this planet. So it's shocked that people don't think about these things and rather fighting over the stupid shit in the world that doesn't even make any sense. You try to tell me it only takes one tiny little rock from outer space to hit the planet the right way, and there'll be no more life on this planet until whatever else is after the dinosaurs and humans or whatever's after human beings. But I thought we're smarter than that as human beings. The dinosaurs couldn't figure out there was a little rock. There were dinosaurs. There was their animal kingdom. There was trees bigger than them. There was trees that bigger than dinosaurs. So dinosaurs didn't notice space as they said. They must say, this is planet Earth and my home. It's going to keep me alive. And there's nothing in outer space that's going to destroy dinosaurs as dinosaurs. Well, we know about space as human beings. You know that outer space is not exactly as safe as we think it is because there's no gravity. That means anything can pick up speed in outer space as the speed of light. I feel like everything can pick up as the speed of light, no matter mass or whatever, because there's no gravity. Then he found out, holy shit, there is gravity. There's black holes. So on top of, we got the right gravity. That's why I have to lose count. We got I don't know if there's something wrong with our gravity on this planet because we keep fucking up our ozone layer and all that crap. Because we're idiots, we fight over the stupid. I feel like people fight over the stupidest shit. As I was on the wrestling team in school, so I was from Trenton and I moved to Ewing, and maybe that was the conflict. You all knew that I moved from Trenton in school on the wrestling team and saying that oh, I'm allowed to treat you like you're from Trenton because you're from Trenton. And I'm like, Trenton was a nice place. Trenton, I don't mind being called, I'm from Trenton. You know, back in the day, Trenton is a nice place. You know, you can, but I guess that's how it is, you know. You got to be tough in this thing because you made it done. We're smart enough to save our planet. We're smart enough to save the animals and our life and plants on this world because we know what it takes. And it doesn't take negative and hating each other. It takes cooling down. The planet had to cool down. Then all of a sudden the fog around, there's a fog. There's a fog around the planet. And that fog is protecting the layers and the radiation poisoning that's in outer space. We are wondering what cancer comes from when there's radiation poisoning in outer space. So I felt like, oh, one, like to live, and if somebody dies, that should affect everybody. We don't want to die. That should affect everybody. If somebody dies on the in the world we're smart, that should affect everybody. As we only got one life to live. And I don't want my life to be screwed over back home as a veteran. And just because you all sit there and call people's name and make people the bad guy, to find excuse for why I take more money from a veteran back then. I don't understand the law on the internet. I don't disrespect the law. I don't disrespect the president. I don't disrespect the government. I don't respect the flag or the American people. I don't feel like I just feel like I'm getting bullied, and since you got caught of scamming on the internet over the years, you get mad at people, maybe even more. So, no, I don't think all law is crooked online, but there is some type of crooked law saying that, oh, wow, over the years, the law accept all the nudity on the internet to come down hard on me back home as a veteran, and said I didn't have shit on my computer. That's what's stupid about this case. They had to lie to make me. They had shit on my computer after 9/11. Because I'm so nice. I felt I want to view the world nice. So I want to have a nice internet. I want to view positive sites. So you think people want negative sites in the future? They want positive sites in the future. So to trust a site, if billions of people have been using the site around the world for years to trust that site, that sit there and screw it over, and everybody can earn money off of sex nudity, even the law. It's going to be more than that. I think Hugh Hefner had if we can't view ourselves naked, then how are we going to accept ourselves in clothes and life on this planet as a human being? So Hugh Hefner is saying, well, people rather read a magazine and view boobies. What about America had boobies in America? Where all the boobies went in America? As an American, it's okay to watch boobies because I'm part of the animal kingdom, and if you like it or not, I'll eventually find love in the world, and that person, that lady, will have boobies. So, boobies is a common word. You all get mad because you're jealous of me, and you don't want no girl to talk to me back home at parties after 9/11 as a disabled combat vet. That's how much effort it took to scam a disabled combat veteran, where I'm like, man, I did a lot of cool things at home. You know, I was a really good battle buddy. I wasn't a mean battle buddy. I was a good roommate with my battle buddies. I wasn't a bad roommate. You know, I respect all the ranks in the military. I didn't kiss ass because they had rank. I didn't kiss ass because to be cool in the military. I didn't do that on the wrestling team. I didn't kiss the coaches' asses on the wrestling team. I listened to my coach and wrestled really hard. I did not want to lose for my wrestling team. That's why it was hard for me to wrestle my senior year, because it seemed everybody just wanted to break me. Then nobody wanted to see if I was a good wrestler at all. You just wanted to break me on the mat. When you know, all I had to do was gain some more muscle and gain some more weight. I would have been a really good wrestler at my college, at a college. Because I would have able to gain weight, I would have had food, and I would have had muscles in my 20s. I would have been in my 20s in college, so I would have been. I would have had to gain weight. I would have had to work out. Apparently, you get better treatment. That's why you pay for college, so you pay for the treatments. You get you expect it as a student. So if you're capable of doing that sport in college. But I joined the military after high school. I was nervous, when you're in the wrestling team or in a sport. Not a lot of people are nice to in school because you was on the wrestling team. People say, "Oh, you're not tough enough. Your goofy glasses," and so through the classes. I didn't know if people knew I was on the wrestling team, but then I figured out, well, but they must have known something about me being on the wrestling team. So there was time, I felt the vibe. I felt the vibe change in school as a wrestler. As I feel people's vibe, when they got people that make you believe that they're going to help you, they don't help you at all. That's some type of vibe. They change on you. Right? In a relationship, if a girlfriend changed on you nowadays, there's a reason why. So I didn't have a lot of girlfriends in my lifetime. I don't know what a relationship is. If I had a girlfriend, I didn't know about it. Because I was always in the friend zone. I felt like I was in the friend zone, where I really didn't have time to get a date in school. I was always focusing on school, wrestling, and getting good grades in school. Because I went to the same group where they say, "Oh, you're in your senior now. You got to determine what college you got to go to your senior year." And I said, "Oh, shit. I don't know if I could be a good captain in my senior year or that." So like the only reason why they wanted to wrestle me is to break me on the wrestling mat. Because they heard that Commiso's on the wrestling team. So they joined the team just to try to break me on the mat. But we all know I didn't give up as easy. And I'm not going to give up as easy as my life being online. Just, it sucks that good people get screwed over in the world in the first place because you figure, wow, there's got to be some kind of system where the good people is a good life. That's what they teach you. You're nice. You help people. You do your best. You try not to break the law. But somehow that's not how the internet works. It screws your fuck over no matter who you are. So I don't know if that's the system or a few assholes that decide to say that I'm not good enough to use the internet. And I'm like, who would say that right after 9/11 when I was still considered American soldier, an American hero after 9/11 on you? So I don't know how crooked the internet is to where, well, the law says it's okay for everybody in public to have sex, but if I catch you in public as the law to have sex, then I'm going to screw only your life over and not everybody else that's in public and having sex videos online in public, all in stores all around the world. Because the law has to accept that the public knows that the law likes sex too. If you think about it in the future, if we're going to allow the internet to work in the future, then you're going to accept that everybody knows what sex and nudity is nowadays online. As everybody knew what sex and nudity was before the internet, as you all sit there and act, you don't know what the cool kids did in the past. You don't know what the cool kids do on the internet nowadays. So, I know it's hard. Everybody gets bullied, so it's cool. If I figure out how to vote, I would have voted for Donald Trump. You know, so I got this one. So I feel like even the president's getting bullied. So it's cool to know that there's good friends that nowadays that actually stand up for each other. So as a veteran, and I know you're supposed to stand behind your president. We voted for him. We got to stand behind. That's why I was learned in the military. So if I'm getting bullied as a disabled combat veteran after 9/11, and there's enough people online to prevent that to happen, as so I guess the president probably getting bullied on the internet too. So I'm trying to get my vest to connect it. Look, I'm trying to find a vest that fits, and I want to patch all these patches on the vest like the other veterans did in the past. But I'm going to be different. I'm going to have different types of, my patch is going to be all cool looking. So I got veteran Michael Commiso. So I got the patch for the vest, and then I got this one that says I'm an Iraq war veteran. So I got that for the vest. So that's cool. But I won't be all serious patches. I'm going to put this patch, Back to the Future. I said, well, if everybody's sitting there and actually trying to get to know me, and these are the reason why everybody's doing the things they're trying to do back home and welcome me back home. My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. So I said, well, if I'm going to teach everybody who I am as a veteran, I'm going to put a Back to the Future patch on the vest as a veteran. So I don't know if this is sew-on patch, but I think you can sew it on. I think you have to have a special glue to iron things, but I don't know if there's something, iron patches on leather, but you can sew it on. I don't know how they do it on leather. And then I got these coins. I said, these coins are cool. If I show you the big one first. At first, I don't know much about everything. I got to basically read the book about it, I guess. But I watched, see, that's the shows we should have on television. They teach you something that you can use in the future and accomplish something. So, Pawn Stars and American Pickers and Star Wars, they all act like they're fighting on the show. They're probably best friends with each other on the show. Because all the show is basically teaching people how to buy storage units, teaching people how to be a pawn star, a business person, and how to be American Pickers. Basically how to figure out how to collect things. But we got flea markets. So we've been collecting. I think part of our American culture is collecting things. America collect things. So when I found out, look at this coin. it's a $50 coin. I said a $50 coin. I didn't know that's possible, but there is. And look at this. Look at, they made things as said it's gold plated. So it's not all, if it's not all gold, it must have silver in it. Right? So it's from 1877. They had gold. Everybody said, oh, it could be fake because it's gold. People are not, I don't think you understand history. Because they had gold in the they found gold, when they discovered gold on this planet. They discovered gold probably before 1800s, right? So when people look at things, when they collect things, they say, how there's gold on this 1800? They made gold. They had gold before 1800s. So it's cool because it's It's not in a bad condition. I guess it's not appraised. Everybody's got this thing on, it has to be appraised to be something. Well, if the coin didn't get a chance to get appraised yet, it's not the coin's fault. Can't get mad at the coin. That's how I feel as a veteran. You know, dude, what's your problem? I just came back off of work and you leave me alone and let me have a good life back home as an American hero. And I thought it was cool because it said a $50 coin and look how big it is. 1877. And look, it's got the what's that, the president seal? What's this? The seal there. I'm sorry, I didn't read all the books back home. But, you know, it's cool to collect coins. I'm holding something that's from 1877. And now it's 2020. What year is it? 2026. I didn't even know what year it is. But I'm frustrated and upset with time on this planet because it goes too fast. The time people get wisdom, time people to wise up and become something they want to be in life, you're too old now. Time anybody has a chance to be anything, that's another point of using the internet. Everybody's too old and don't have the effort to do their goals and dreams anymore because they know they're old, they're going to die soon because they're old. That's what you're teaching their kids. There's only life and death, and then if you screw it up, fuck you, we don't give a fuck about you no more. That's life on this planet, that's people on the internet. But you're not going to get far in future doing that to each other, do you know that? I hope people smart enough. Hate and crime and violence is not going to keep the internet going. So what is the law doing on the internet? Getting people mad on purpose? Saying, well, I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I don't know who's trying to make people to be a bad guy. Then I didn't know these coins came from the same person. These are dollar coins. And this is from 1882. So these are the silver dollars from 1882. I don't know when the first. I got a coin book. I can look up these coins and see if I can find it in the coin book. But it's when I watch the shows, I don't know how perfect things gotta be when you find out that that's the last of that item in the whole planet. Because holding an 1800 coin and you're from 1985 to 2026, you're holding history and you don't know what these coins went through. You don't know if this coin went through the president. You don't know if this coin went to a celebrity back in 1800s. You don't know where this coin's landed. You know, that's pretty cool. You're not learning history the right way. You're all thinking everybody has time to copyright each other or make copies of these coins. So maybe they had a. Well, we all know that people want the real deal. People don't want fake things. So if people know that, why would people just still try to make fake things if next find out, I guess you can't, it's not going to work. So I guess these are the silver dollars. I heard about silver dollars in America. I'm a weird collector. I'm here to think, I watched, I said, I gotta be good. I said, all right, I know what this guy wants. He wants silver and gold. Because I watched Pawn Stars. I missed the grandpa on that show. The grandpa made the show funny. Because he was an old veteran. I think he was a Navy. I think he said he was a Navy veteran. And he was trying to organize the pawn shop like he's in the military, the veteran. So he's like, he gets mad at everybody. He gets mad at his son. He gets mad at his son, and then he gets mad at his friend. But I think that's his son too, somehow. He's related to that family somehow. And the grandpa was yelling at everybody, not just one. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. He's calling everybody idiot on the show. It's funny. That's why, and then he said, so I think I heard about the silver dollar. I don't know if that's the right year he's supposed to have. But look, it's still from 1800s. You can't complain. And how many people hold this? It's just not a praise. I can't afford to praise stuff. So I'm just winging it here. I said, I heard about the silver dollar before. I must try to collect some of them. That's what's in my mind. So I have to relax now because everybody's picking on me back home, and then I've been beat up and everything too back home. And I'm like, wow. I wonder why everybody's complaining. It's been so hard for me to use the internet and to make something out of myself online as an American soldier. That I don't understand why everybody haters. What's wrong with you guys? I was just trying to win for my wrestling team, that's all. I was trying to win say good things and win for my battle buddy. You know, because there was a lot of young battle buddies around me, and there were old battle buddies around me too. And we all had something in common. Where it was American soldiers defending America after 9/11. Because that's what we do. That's Americans. American soldiers. So, whatever. I felt like I did my best, and now everybody's saying that's not good enough, and then I'm expected to take it up the ass because somebody decided to call me a name and bully me and saying I'm not good enough to use the internet. And I'm like, wow, man, how easy it is to get along with each other and just chill. Everybody can get weed in the world. Everybody can have love in the world and food and medicine and all that stuff that you need, water, oxygen. Because we care about each other as people in the world. That's all we have to do. Once we all care about each other, there'll be no violence to crime because you don't want to get affected by that violence crime yourself. Someone. You ever saw the movie Idiocity? I like to watch a lot of comedies. I like to laugh. I don't like drama. I think drama, I don't know who created drama, but I think that if we can't figure out what's going on and why people are upset, well, maybe if we stop putting so much drama on television, so much drama on the internet, so much drama on each other as people, there'd be no drama. So whatever, I don't know. I was trying to be cool, and maybe I didn't hit the right spots at the close back home in America or something. Well, I'm 41 years old. I guess y'all taught me nobody parties when they're 41 years old. And I gotta exercise, I guess. But, you know, I gotta get motivation to exercise. And they said, what's wrong with your motivation? Well, somebody online decided to sit there and call me a name and bully me, saying I ain't going up to use the internet, where I'm like, you actually believe that I want to see everything that's on the internet? No, I know the internet, somebody fucked up the internet for some reason. And now you all claim that nobody can fix it. No, that sucks. You found a way to take money from people and overlooked over the billions of nudity, so you can be part of that and be happy and do what you want to a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. I didn't know the system was like that. People could just turn on your back and steal from you and hate on you for no damn reason. And that's to steal from you. So, whatever. I got my sparklers. Memorial Day's coming. I don't mind having a cookout for a day. I know where to buy food for the cookout. I figure out how to buy sparklers in America. And then I got the noise making things. I figured it out. So if people can't figure out the internet, and few people can get mad at me over a situation that over the years, I think there's more sex now than it was before I even started using it. So I don't know who's the haters or the judgmental scamming me on purpose and screwing me over on purpose. But I'm a smart person, you know. No, I don't try to show the same thing as everybody else is showing, because eventually everybody's going to show the same Pokemon card. Eventually everybody's going to show the same baseball card, basketball, football, or the same coins or the same stamp. No, I'm just a little human being on life online, trying to make it in the world. You said it was okay to be a collector in America. I thought that was the whole point of the show. But somehow someone's going to get mad and say, how did you get that coin? I just watched the television show and it tell me how to get the coin. Don't get mad at me as a disabled, I'm up better. So hey dude, what's your problem, back home? I'm your American hometown hero, back home. Man, you're disabled combat veteran. And my battle buddy's online. What did I do to you back home online? Can you inform me a little bit more? Why you gotta sit there and screw my life over? For no reason. Because you all acting like you're all sensitive people online. Because you don't know what sex and nudity is. You're all sensitive around sex and nudity. You would think people would be sensitive around violence and people dying on the internet and say, we have to do something about it. Instead of worrying about if a teenager knows what a condom is or a teenager knows what sex is. As you act like you listen to yourself. So I apologize if you all got jealous if all the ladies want Commiso back home. You know, because I'm a vet. And you all act like I want all the ladies back home. No. Maybe I'm a shy, quiet 41-year-old man for a reason. But it's hard to use the internet back home as a veteran. Being in a relationship must be the hardest shit in the fucking world. So I can't have that. You know, I don't know if I'm supposed to be like at the time in history where I have to keep Commiso going and you all need my sperm donation. I don't mind if I probably got little sperms, Joe. Because you'll act like I had sex with the whole town as a veteran. No, I have lacked the ability of trying to start a communication and meet with the other, to the ladies. So if you think I'm trying to hit all ladies now online, well, I'm like, well, I think they're just going to backstab me and steal my Pokemon cards as the ladies. That's how you teach what ladies do. If they don't get their way, it's the ladies or something. Is that what you teach your kids too? Oh, as a lady, you're allowed to have a nervous breakdown. They say, fuck it, I'm going to rob. And because I'm a lady. I know there's good ladies out there. I don't think all ladies are that way. But then you got these saying, well, I've already been a veteran for a while. If people can't accept me online as a veteran, online, being in a relationship must suck. So, I don't want to deal with the soap opera relationship you see on television and say, damn, I already knew where this was leading. And you say, fuck it, in life. But there's got to be more in life than on the internet. There's more to life online. saying that's all we can do is screw each other's lives over because we don't accept each other as a human being online. Well, I am your human being online, and I got feelings. You can all say, you could claim you could take my rights away, but you really can't really take my rights away. I don't know who came up with these paperwork saying, well, I could give my rights away. I don't think so. As your disabled combat veteran, that's no. As this, I read, you could change your mind. If the lawyer and the judge and the other side is basically blackmailing you to force you to sign paperwork. So I only felt like, man, they're going to keep fucking with me if I don't sign this paperwork. And got combat PTSD. So you said that they put the inmates at court on purpose. I felt like you put the inmates, all the inmates, you act like the jail cell don't know what information is online is. As people go into jail cell and tell how the world is on the internet. As there's television too. So don't sit there and act like nobody knows anything in the jail cell. Everybody knows everything in the 21st century. And everybody knew that I was a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. So that's why we only organize to hate each other. We organize to know where everybody is online 24 hours a day to hate each other. Just how many people go to cool parties nowadays? Or is there any kind of partying in the world nowadays? We came up with partying not to hurt each other at the parties, to have a good time at the parties. People in the world needs to let out some steam. We're in a tunnel vision world where everybody's watching each other, hate each other 24 hours, killing each other. So I'm trying to let out my steam as a disabled combat veteran, and apparently somebody must take me the wrong way because I decided to make something out of myself in the world, and then the first thing you guys do is turn your back on that person and say, fuck you. So being a kid must be hard. If you're different from school, online, man, you're a kid, man. Kids' lives in the world should be the easiest shit in the world as kids in the world. So whatever, man. We have the ability to keep ourselves safe as life on this planet. Now since you all decided to put the streets online and act like everybody doesn't get hacked because I have a special password or some kind of... When you put the streets online, I don't know what that means, man, because you're tougher because you're streets. I don't understand that, because I think if you're in a home, you're tougher because you got a home and you're safe. You're safe in the home. So I don't know who invented the streets to be bad to each other. They said because it said, oh shit, that guy says streets. We all have to be assholes to each other because it's the streets. Well then how do you expect kids to have a good time on the streets because you all decided as adults, wow, since we all came up on the streets because you said we did. So where I'm like, wow, I can't believe people can kill each other like that at war. It fucking sucks. You know? You don't want your kids to go to war. You don't want your kids to go through violence and all that shit. Every school should be safe because we're smart enough to say, shit, we don't want to die in school before we even hit reality and learn we don't have to even face reality. Because the reality is bullshit on the line. If that's your claim, the reality should be this way because you made everything the streets on the internet. And so we all got to talk to each other like streets. No, there's some organized crime going on higher up ranks. Damn, somebody knows a crooked cop at the desk saying, because you like sex too. You all can lie as the law saying you don't like sex. But you gotta explain where all these kids come from. That's why I like comedy. Because comedy can take reality and say you're a bullshit. Comedy can take reality and say you're bullshit in the world as people in the internet. There's nobody wants to die. And nobody wants to live a good man life. So what's everybody's problem? I'm a veteran back home. You know, I got pain in my body. I didn't realize there was pain in my body at 41. Well, apparently there is. So I feel I got pocket. I'm not going to stop achieving in life. You all can sit there and act like, well, I should find excuses why not to move on because you're some kind of weirdo in the world. Well, I was meant to keep going. So I got more Pokemon cards to open. I got Pokemon cards coming in. I will try to figure out how to open baseball cards online. I will figure that out for you. Then I will figure out how to collect coins and stamps. Whatever catches my eye, I will show you to the world. And one day, maybe I will find something rare as hell. Because you looked at history the wrong way. You're trying to say 1,800 coins shouldn't have gold. They should all have like some kind of silver in the 1800s. But as they make coins now, they make special coins and gold now. They must have did the same thing in the 1800s. Oh, because imagine finding gold in the cave. You want to make a gold coin, right? You know, how do you tell everybody try to find gold in the cave? They make gold coins. They should have kept that gold, though. If you kept gold from 1800 from the caves, and you still have the gold now in your family generation, that gold will probably be billions of trillions of dollars from the cave from the gold. But they needed money now. They're from the 1800s, and everybody said you have to discover oil to have money. So if you find gold in a cave, that's what everybody's fighting about, gold in the cave. So there's gold. Just because I don't know, maybe you're saying, we already know Commiso there's gold in the 1800s. You don't have to tell us. Well, maybe I'm telling myself, I didn't learn all this stuff over the years right away, too. I don't know everything as a collector. All I know is it's cool to collect things, and I'm going to hold on to my things. And I would have got upset if everybody lost all my stuff. And I'm like, my landlord, my dad, helped me collect all this stuff over in the mail. And I went to the flea market. I got the eye of the tiger. I could see I just collect things that I try to bring back my child more memories. I didn't have coins though. But they said, make sure you collect gold in the future because it's going to worth something. So imagine having gold from 1800s. They sold it fast. They must have kept some of the gold. I don't think they sold all the gold. They had to keep some of it. But they was thinking about, everybody's dying, getting shot in the Wild Wild West. I have to get a big house so they won't shoot me in the house. I gotta get some kind of Batman cave in the 1800s so I won't get shot in the Wild Wild West. Well, this is the 21st century. What the hell? We realize It's not cool to hurt each other. It's not cool to harm each other. So why would any type of law start a conflict online and put harm on somebody by calling them a name and bullying them online? You actually look worse than me just sitting there trying to use the internet and you get all confused, acting like you're just backstabbing me and stealing from me. And identity theft for me, mocking me, scamming me, hacking me, and stealing my identity, to find more information on what I did at war. It seems like that's what the court was trying to do. The monitors and everything, the pro officers is trying to find out what else I did at war. And the reason why you decided to monitor my computer after 9/11. Because, again, you can tell I was trying to do the right things. I feel like I'm a positive person. Even going through what I went through, I'm still a positive person. So you're wrong to sit there and decide to assume the worst out of your American heroes back home like that. You know, because I took on a lot of responsibility serving my country. As now I got a responsibility being a disabled combat veteran. So I don't think I put down anybody. I'm just letting out my feelings, saying, what are you all doing back home? What is everybody's problem? I'm your American hero back home online for the world to see. And this is the best y'all can do back home, to welcome back home a veteran like me. And then they say, oh, Commiso's only thinking about himself as a veteran. He's not helping other veterans out. And I feel like I'm standing up for the veterans more better than you guys. Because you're acting like you can't help a veteran out and shit. I think I told my veteran battle buddies a lot of information about being a veteran. Saying it's okay to wear your hat. It's okay to dress like a veteran. You're living in America. So, this is your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. I may have some more things to say, but can't remember everything now. And now I feel like I have to lay down now. If that's okay with the world online, their life online. Because you're some kind of weirdos acting like you don't know what you like to watch, to where you really think everybody's sitting there trying to be negative. We live in a negative world, so we gotta think negative. They tell me I can't get positive in this world and be something at all. I've gotta be negative too, like everybody else, like you. Then I'm like, what's the point? Having a mind of your own. So, whatever. This is all I have to say. I stand behind this guy. Hey, dude, what's the problem? He was just trying to chill in the classroom. Anybody that's trying to chill in the classroom, it's cool with me. At least you're trying to chill in the classroom. I don't see other students trying to chill in the classroom, So, this is your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. Like Commiso and the battle buddies online.